An explosion of violence on the streets of Chicago. Dozens of people have been shot, many of them killed, and all in just a matter of hours.
Shooting violence has gotten so bad in Chicago that gunfights are breaking out now at existing crime scenes.
There's a war going on outside when you ain't safe from. I feel the pain in my city wherever I go. 314 soldiers died in Iraq. 509 died in Chicago.
Welcome to Chiraq.
Real Chiraq. What is that? What the fuck is that? Bitch, this uptown. Bitch, it's the real Chiraq. When we catch more bodies in the real Iraq, nigga.
It's a war here. Everybody got pistols, everybody shooting, everybody running wild. Iraq, Chiraq, you feel me?
It's a legitimate term, and a lot of people get pissed off when I say that. But it is. It's a society in and of itself, and it's a world that a lot of people don't understand. And all this drill shit is a part of that world. That's what Chiraq is. And in that world, you have a different set of politics, principles, lingo, and this was created out of lack of care and concern from the established order in Chicago.
Chiraq drill and noise, that was the first time I heard it, so I thought it was clever. I'm like, hey, it is like a war zone, you know, pretty cool. I didn't think that people would run with it, you know.
That term, it is horrible. I think it just plays into the narrative that Chicago is a place where you get shot and you don't want to be, and it's hopeless. And you know, it's obviously making a reference to Iraq, which is another really offensive thing because there's definitely communities in Iraq who are not under fire all the time. So I think it's a big slap in the face to both Chicago and Iraq.
Motherfucker be tweaking. I don't want to call this city Chiraq. You don't call it Chiraq if you're not in the streets, in the slums, not seeing motherfuckers die every day, a hand about a motherfucker dying every day. Because best believe, this shit is where it's at. Nigga serving your homie mama, she a crackhead. You remember this? This is Chiraq.
When people say Chiraq, that's not my experience, so I can't really speak to it, but I've heard people who can speak to it definitely have an issue with it, and so I don't think it's appropriate.
It makes me angry because it's just like, I know some people who were like murdered in that whole like, during that time when we got that Chiraq name, and it's just like, that's not good. That don't make us sound tough.
If you look at the conditions of, you know, people being colonized and disenfranchised in Iraq and, you know, or any Middle Eastern country where you have a U.S. imperialist force, and what we're dealing here with our communities, I think that's a very good way to compare those two struggles. The militarization, the paramilitary force of the police in our communities, we need to think about why more money is going into police and why more money is going into the military than it is to alleviate, you know, the conditions in which we're dealing with, you know. We need to be divesting from police like we need to be divesting from the military. And like Francis Fanon taught us, you know, anytime you have a colonized people that you cut off from any kind of resources, they're gonna fight each other for survival.
The little battles is what's fucking making up the war and what's really why the shit is so dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Your enemy was your friends growing up in high school. You know what I'm saying? And you done killed this person and now they done killed your cousin and they done killed your sister or whatever, like, you know.
No matter how you feel about Spike Lee's movie or about Chief Keef's music or other drill artists' music, what they've been able to do is point at the reality of the city and that we need some help right now.
Because for a lot of people, that's all it is a war zone. You know what I mean? That's all you think when you step out. So when you say Chiraq, it's more of a diagnosis of the things that people are trying to cover up. They don't want you to know the suffering that's going on in Inglewood. So I think to say Chiraq is them really taking it like, no, we suffering here. This is what it is. I don't know this. I ain't been downtown. You know what I mean? I don't know this part of the city that y'all talking about is so great. I don't know it. I don't see it. This is Chiraq to me.
And they wonder why I rap like I rap cause I'm tired of this crap, so I'm finna fight back. The devil gave us beat, is it rape, is it gangs, is it AKs and crack, man, take that back.
It's really a war. You know what I'm saying? They say it's a war and it's Chiraq, but it's really a fucking war.
Yeah, that's our terms. That's how we talk. That's our lingo. They don't understand it. Them all words. Chiraq is Chicago.
And I'm from the murder capital where they murder for capital. Heard about at least 3 killings this afternoon. Looking at the news like damn, I was just with them after school. No shop class, but had the school got a tool. And I could die any day type attitude. Plus his little brother got shot repping his avenue. It's time for us to stop and redefine black power. 41 souls murdered in 50